Today, we want to look at some psych ward story times and see what's up with that, because we've been to the psych ward. We know that we didn't really like it. We want to hear some other opinions. We have our own stories. If you're ready for that, then let's go.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Here's a fact about psych wards you might not have heard of yet, and it's that they will take your vitals and draw your blood as early as 3 a.m. in the morning. The first night I was in a psych ward, which turned into the first morning I was in a psych ward, they drew my blood at 4 a.m. There was no warning. They just kind of woke me up casually, said I could still lay down, and then they just wiped my arm and put the needle in. They literally didn't say, hey, there's going to be a pinch, didn't do none of that. They just put it in. And I have never experienced such a lack of care, I should say. Like, I really didn't feel like a human being. And I think that's kind of important to say when it comes to psych ward stuff like this. So, because at the end of the day, all they had to do was get their numbers. And I guess I was just a number to them in a lot of ways. But yeah, I literally, early in the morning, every single morning at like 4 a.m., they would at least take my vitals. And sometimes, if I was lucky, they would draw my blood too.
I remember they needed to take my blood at night at one time. And they woke me up to take my blood, but one night I know they were like, we could just take it from your hand. I was like, from my hand? You're just gonna take my blood from my hand? I don't know what time it was. Painful. Yeah, and they just took my hand and just stuck a needle in my vein and just took the blood from my vein in my hand. Just woke, and they were like, we don't need your arm. We got your hand.
No,
when do people take blood from your hand like that?
I feel like it's only when you have surgery or something, right? That you
right?
Put in
the psych ward, they were like, we got your hand. Poke needle in the hand. Like, that's just the most bizarre thing. But yeah, they just take blood from you at any time. At any time when you're in the psych ward, we need to do a blood test. Oh, you do? Okay. And I used to have a fear of needles and blood drawing until I had gone to the psych ward. Because they jabbed me with needles so many times. I no longer have a fear of needles because of the psych ward.
But why at 2 a.m. or whatever? Like, why
I don't know. I do not know. But they do this, and this happened to me. And I no longer, like I said, no longer a fear of needles after going to the psych ward because I was jabbed so many times.
Okay, but like part of mental health is like you need to sleep well.
Yes. I agree with you. Anyway, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, they do that. Happened to me too. Happened to me, and I can't agree more. Let's move on because I'm getting heated off I'm gonna be heated this whole video, I think.
Welcome to a day in the life at the psych ward. I will preface this video by saying, even if it is a public hospital that is the closest to you, please go and get help, no matter what hospital is in your area, if you are a danger to yourself or others. Last week, I spent 1 week at the public hospital. It was my first experience in a psych ward. I've never been before, so I have nothing to compare it to at this point. The public hospital is not glamorous. There are really no resources. There may be 1 or 2 classes going on during the day, but they're very generic and very much not for borderlines. I dealt with some very questionable mental health nurses, staff, and psychs. And while traumatizing seems a bit intense, I would say that it did more harm than good. It was beneficial until it wasn't. There's not much going on during the days. There's not much to do. You can go to the art room.
Pens?
Or you can go outside into the courtyard.
Or
you can sit and rot in your bed. Thankfully, you are allowed visitors.
In your room?
Most of my days were just waiting for the couple of hours I got to spend with my girlfriend in one of the quiet rooms.
Can I go to this?
I wasn't allowed leave, and they are very, very strict.
The public hospital?
Inside the ward. I spent a lot of my time just in my room,
Books?
laying in my bed, going stir crazy, having all this pent up energy with no place to expel it, no resources, no help. I kind of spent a week in limbo. Well, it did its job in saving my life.
That's not heaven.
And it prevented further damage.
Compared to where I've been?
1 week was too long for me to spend
this is summer camp.
Limbo, not progressing, not having help, not
getting
anywhere.
Oh, listen.
And when I left the ward, I was back to square one, back to the same place
I'm
that
sure
I was
I wouldn't be able to have that.
Before I went in there. I am extremely confused and grateful and feeling blessed to be able to go to a private hospital. I have no idea why my insurance covers it, but I'm just not going to ask questions. Comparing public to private is like comparing apples to oranges. They are so different, and I do not take this opportunity lightly. I'm so lucky to have the privilege to be able to go
Now
to
she's in a private hospital?
Public
Yeah, I don't
is
know why I kept
great
saying
for getting
public.
out of
She
the
said
initial
public was
crisis
great.
phase.
How? Okay, I've been seeing TikToks with people in psych wards with cell phones lately. How is that a thing?
How are you allowed a cell phone?
Is that a new thing?
Well, hey, listen, when I was in the psych ward, I had a flip phone.
Okay, but you weren't supposed to.
I wasn't supposed. Yeah, and
That's what I'm
I wasn't
saying.
supposed. Yeah, how are they allowed to have a phone?
That's what I'm saying. And they put it on TikTok and stuff. I guess it's different now.
And also, I just want to say, when I was in the psych ward, I didn't want anyone to know. And now everyone's all open about it,
Well, yeah.
which I'm glad is a good
That's
thing.
great,
That's a
but-
great thing. That room was so lovely compared to any psych ward room I ever had.
No, and she was allowed to go outside.
And
we couldn't go
she
outside
could
either.
go out. One place I was begging, like, can I please go outside? And they said, no, you can't go outside. We used to let people go outside, but somebody ruined it, so now we can't bring anyone
Yeah.
outside. I go, not just me? But what about just me? They're like, no, we can't do it. Another place, they said, okay, you guys can go outside over here, but you can't leave the steps. Okay, so we can just stand on the steps? Yeah. Here's a ball. I go, so what are we going to do with this ball? You can throw it to each other on the steps. Excuse me, miss? Okay. Well, don't drop the ball because we're not allowed off the steps. So I'm like, that looked so lovely. I would have loved to be in that hospital compared to the ones that I was at.
Sorry, I'd rather have like the celebrities, with the horses and the trails.
Okay, well I would have loved to be at the one the celebrities were at too. But I don't have the money for that.
Oh, I just don't want to glamorize her place.
You don't want to glamorize her place, but I think we can still talk about how it was so much lovelier than any place that I've ever been to.
It looked like a 2-star hotel, basically, where she went.
And where I stayed was a negative 25-star hotel.
No, but I'm confused how she even got, even jail people get to go outside, though, sometimes. But then if you're in the psych ward, you can't go outside, right?
It depends what psych ward. Let's move on. I think we're getting in a fight.
When they put me in the psych ward, I literally was like, I feel like I'm so much more mentally stable than everybody you guys see in here. And they're like, no, you're not.
I mean, I wonder if that's a thought of how many people, or that person felt that way. I felt that way. Did you feel that way? So I wonder if everyone feels that way.
Well, some people are... I don't think the guy that was drooling and screaming knew anything, really.
Maybe. Okay, let us move on, because we all feel more sane than the people we were in the psych ward with when we were all still in the psych ward.
We work in a psych ward. Of course I entertain the delusions. Tell the voices I said hi.
We work in a psych ward. Of course we've gotten barricaded into the nurse's station before.
We work in a psych ward. Of course I become a track star when I hear a code go off.
We work in a psych ward. Of course I have to take your shoelaces when you get admitted.
We work in a psych ward. Of course I believe if they're restrained bed. You go get the booty juice.
We work in a psych ward. Of course I'll get you juice. You want apple, cranberry, or orange?
So she said she has to take the shoelaces of people? I never got my shoelaces taken.
Yeah, because you can tie it or something. That's what...
I never got my shoelaces taken.
Oh, I thought I did.
I did. That didn't happen to me. But I didn't like the restraints.
Yeah, because they gave you
the
different
restraints
shoes.
and the shot in the butt.
But they gave you different shoes, right?
I was not given different shoes.
You didn't get the socks? What?
Did they take my shoes from me?
Yeah, they must have given you the socks. That everyone gets socks.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, so of course they took your shoelaces.
They
took her shoes.
You are so correct. I never even realized that. Wow. No, did they? I can't remember. Wow, I've been out of the psych ward for so long that I almost forgot about stuff in the psych ward.
Yeah, but everybody...
Congratulations to me!
Yeah, but that's like the whole joke, Grippy Sock Vacation.
But I know they gave me the socks.
Okay.
I know the socks, but I just forgot that I didn't have my shoes on. I forgot about that. But they were like the restraints. They talk about I do the restraints and you get the shot. As someone who's been restrained and gotten the shot, that was awfully offensive. And I wasn't even being a rowdy when I got restrained. They wanted to give me the shot. And then when I said I didn't want it, they restrained me. For no reason. You know what? That psych ward stuff can be a little bit traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? It can be traumatizing, especially, I know, and these nurses is kind of making light of all the traumatizing stuff.
Yeah, but they're not even the ones that are really going through it, so how it's not fair that they're the ones making the jokes.
That's why I think it was a little bit insensitive. It's a little insensitive. Don't make jokes about the shot. The shot's not fun.
Or
I got
any
the
of
shot. The shot.
Or anything that has to do with the patient.
Don't say hi to my hallucinations because they're not talking to you. Let's move on.
That's fucked up. It's up because you're not safe to say anything.
That's a very damaging video. Because then who are you safe to talk to? I was too honest with the dean of discipline, and I ended up in the psych ward.
I was too honest with teachers about my, not eating, and then I would get in trouble.
Right, yeah. So
Because I
who
would
can you
get
talk
dizzy.
to? Who
I would
can you
get
talk
dizzy.
to? You can't talk to anyone, I guess.
No.
Right? And that just makes people stay quiet. Well, not nowadays. You could just bring your cell phone into the psych ward, talk to anyone on TikTok, and it's okay, I guess. Right? Now? I don't know.
Well, not at the one. There was no TikTok in 2019 or 2018.
I'm saying now.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just confused.
I'm just confused about how these cell phones are in the psych ward. And the service. Everyone has service?
Why would they not have service?
I thought there was a whole thing that you can't use your phone in a hospital.
Yeah, but that also makes no sense because you need to call people for emergencies. There's always emergencies in hospitals, right? Not always.
The hospital just makes things up, I guess.
Yeah, but you need to be able to have a phone in the hospital.
Yeah, but if you're in the psych ward,
hey, blah blah blah.
But if you're in the psych ward,
Sue's in the hospital.
I know, but if you're in the psych ward, you're supposed to be getting away from everybody. Supposed to be alone.
Yeah, that I don't
So
get.
why do you have your phone where you can call people and text people and maybe the drama's still going on when you're supposed to be getting away, figuring out your medicine, learning all whatever, you know what I'm saying?
It made me depressed because I couldn't talk to you and stuff. But
But that's
the point.
And then they just have the pay phones.
Yeah.
You know what? It's time for another one.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make
Who
it
lets
out.
them in their car? They're in hospital gowns.
Full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the top, proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never headed.
Because you don't know why that must have been a joke. Because you don't know why they're in the psych ward. Why would you?
That could have been fake, but that was hilarious.
Why would you let them in your car?
I would never let somebody in 2 hospital gowns into my car. That is the craziest.
Yeah, because why'd you run in the hospital in the first place?
They got arrested in a
Especially
CVS.
psych ward. How are you gonna?
Well, how are you gonna know they're in the psych ward, but they're running out of the hospital?
No, but he just said that after they said it. Especially they're in the psych ward. But then, anybody running from the hospital guy, and you'd be like, oh shit, you're real sick, and you ran away. Don't go in my car.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I don't know. But also, you know what I didn't like? I couldn't get coffee the whole time. So I couldn't.
So you'd have escaped to Starbucks?
No, but listen.
You would have shown up in Starbucks. I need coffee.
No, but remember.
Milk.
Remember how I got migraine the whole time because I didn't have coffee. And so I just slept the whole time, and they were like, you weren't participating in the group, and I'm like, well, I have no coffee, so I have a migraine. And then the second that you took me out of there, we went to Dunkin' Donuts and got the largest coffee ever, remember?
Yes, I do.
It was right there.
Those guys were so funny.
I thought it'd be fun.
Working at a psych hospital, here's one thing I wish every kid knew when they got in there. If you want something, don't ask in front of everyone. Pull a staff aside. If you're like, hey, I want a shower, I have to say no because now everyone's gonna want a shower and it's a chain reaction. Pull me aside and be like, Miss Maddie, I feel gross. I usually shower in the morning. Can I please shower? I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna get you the stuff. If you don't like your food, Miss Maddie, I don't like the food. Can you get me a different food? I'm gonna go get it. If you go, I don't like the food, can you get this in front of everyone? It's gonna be a chain reaction. Just a tip for your next day. It usually works.
Wait.
What is she talking about?
Wait, why can't you shower whenever
Why
you
can't
want?
you shower whenever you... Is this some sort of kid... Is this what they do to juveniles or whatever when they're in the psych ward?
Also,
everyone had a shower in their own room.
No, what if you can't eat certain foods? You have to be able to say...
Yeah.
I didn't eat meat, so I was like, hey, I need something without meat.
Right.
And I'm like, can you just acidic foods? And they were like, okay. They weren't really that
This is the most bizarre thing. You can't ask for a shower in front of other people. Everyone could shower whenever they wanted to shower. Whatever you wanted to do. And they wake you up at 7 a.m. in the morning. Whatever. It was just harder. It was like, can I use a razor? What do you need a razor for?
Oh, no.
Shaving my legs?
No.
Or my armpits? Or it was
No.
like anything like
Did
that.
they have to watch you?
The guy was standing outside and he was like, are you done with the razor? I was like, well, I didn't use it yet. Why didn't you use it yet? Well, because I thought I was just going through my shower routine and then I was going to use my... No, he was like, no, I need the razor when you're done.
No,
I was like,
I
okay,
would've-
fine. Razor. And it was like the worst razor ever.
Well, yeah, I would have done the razor first so I can just get it rid of.
I mean, I wasn't thinking straight. I was kind of in
I
the
know,
psych
but
ward.
I would have just wanted him to go away immediately.
He wasn't watching me. He was just...
I know, but still,
I
it's just
didn't
weird.
realize he was standing right there. I
Yeah.
didn't know he was like really, really waiting to that like plastic one little tiny blade razor.
Okay, but wait, hold on.
And then also I needed a tweezer. My eyebrows were getting way crazy. I think one place I don't even remember showering.
What?
I don't remember showering at one place.
Why?
I don't think I had any shampoo or conditioner.
I don't know. This is very like PTSD. Continue.
Well, I mean, that's the last video we have.
Okay, good, because I
I think it was a little bit triggering
I
for
don't
both
wanna
of us,
go-
just a little
I don't
bit,
wanna go
right?
back.
Yeah, we don't want to go back there. So we're gonna make sure we take our meds and stay with our doctors. And
'cause I need coffee.
yeah, and we want to stay, medicated, and we want to stay good. We want to make sure we're not harming ourselves or trying to harm other people or anything like that gets you into the psych ward. So if anyone watching this, if you're trying to go to the psych ward, don't. It's not as glamorous as these people are trying to make it seem. If you want to go to the psych ward so you can make some TikTok videos, don't do that either, because you might not actually be allowed to have your cell phone like these people are. And I hope you have a really great day staying out of the psych ward, because any day out of the psych ward is a million times better than any day in the psych ward.